Securing better access to much sought-after raw materials and improving trade relations as a whole. That's the mission that German Chancellor Olaf Schols has been on during his trip to Argentina and Chile and Brazil, which he is visiting today. Germany's auto industry needs to secure more lithium, which is a key metal in batteries for electric vehicles. Argentina and Chile hold the world's largest lithium deposits. Together with Chile's President Gabriel Boric, Mr. Scholz signed a commodities partnership yesterday. But mining the material, which many view as key in transitioning to a green economy, doesn't come without challenges. A short while ago, I spoke to Rolf Langhammer, economist at the Kiel Institute for the World Economy, specializing in international trade and emerging markets. And I asked him how important this lithium mining deal is that Germany and Chile signed over the weekend.
Well, over the long term, it will be terribly important because Latin America, especially Chile and also other Latin American countries, have a large disposal of lithium and also other green metals. In total, of course, trade relations between the three countries are very meager. They used to be much better, but Latin America, of course, has fallen behind as a trading partner for Europe and also for Germany, and it means, of course, that new fields have to be explored, and of course, these are the renewable energies and especially the green metals.
Now, let's take a look at this partnership with South American countries. German government officials say, in contrast to China, for example, Germany is offering a sustainable relationship on an equal footing to these resource-rich countries. How much are these countries interested in a relationship like that?
Well, so far, the EU has been the largest trading partner and also investment partners for the three countries. So the EU is a very important market, both as a sourcing market for technology and, of course, also as an export market. On the other hand, of course, China is a main competitor, pursues its own interests in getting access to resources, basically also the same resources Germany and the EU is looking for. But of course, at equal footing, that's difficult. We know from experience of a BRICS bank in which Brazil and China are partners that, of course, China is the dominant partner. And there has been much, of course, lost in attractiveness after the problem of highly indebtedness of many developing countries against China. And of course, this gives the EU a chance to strengthen its position as a main trading and investment partner.
As the final stop on his tour, the German Chancellor is visiting Brazil, where he's to meet President Lula da Silva. Ahead of this meeting, Mr. Scholz has called for a fresh impetus to talks between the EU and the Mercosur South America trade bloc. Leaders in the region have blamed European protectionism for holding up the deal. Do you see any chance of a breakthrough?
Well, this is has a long history, of course. This agreement has been negotiated for decades, and negotiations stopped in 2019. So I think this is high time to revitalize this agreement. Of course, it would be the first agreement which the EU would conclude with another regional integration scheme. This makes this scheme or this agreement very, very important. On the other hand, of course, there are lots of barriers, especially with respect to the sustainability issue, to the deforestation of the rainforest. Now, after Bolsonaro, of course, the situation has improved with Lula, but on the other hand, Brazil is very much a divided country politically, and the question is whether arguments and, of course, also commitments which have been labeled in the agreement, of course, will be implemented. Implementation and enforcement is a major problem in Brazil.
Rolf Langhammer of the Kiel Institute for the World Economy, thank you for your thoughts.
That was my pleasure.